For millennia, ancient civilizations etched a striking symbolic blueprint into stone, layering sacred meaning over what we now recognize as neuroanatomy. From Galen's early anatomical studies of the little cone, the conarium, to the mathematical fractional geometry of the Egyptian Wadjet eye, historical sources reveal a long fascination with inner perception. Uncover the layered history of the pineal gland, where ancient symbolism and modern science meet, and where they diverge. Beneath layers of forgotten silt, the stone remembers. A tiny pine cone-shaped locus at the precise center of human consciousness. Look closer at the relief. Not a mythical metaphor alone, but a symbol some believe doubles as a map, carved by hands that understood light. Across disconnected continents, the same shape recurs again and again. The same pine cone locus, the same recurring form. Why did so many priesthoods return to this same image? Perhaps because it marks the place where matter meets perception. The ancients called it the seat of inner vision, a gland sealed inside total, pitch darkness. Sealed inside the cranial vault, it requires no external lens to function. It runs on its own internal chemistry. Modern biology confirms part of what the old texts hinted at. Photoreceptor-like cells and light-sensitive proteins reside deep within its dark glandular folds. A biological echo, some say, of a third eye, a small organ carrying an evolutionary memory of vision. To understand its true nature, we must step back to the birth of medical dissection in Alexandrian Greece. In the 2nd century, the physician Galen laid bare the human brain. You are entering our research archive. Subscribe to align with the timeline. Galen documented a tiny organ shaped like a pine nut. He named it conarium, the little cone. Later scholars Latinized it to conarium, the root of the word pineal itself. Earlier physicians had called it a valve, guarding the flow of vital spirits through the brain's chambers. Galen disagreed. He located it precisely, lying just behind the 3rd ventricle, and argued the true valve lay elsewhere. But Galen was not the first to place meaning in this internal sanctuary. Centuries earlier, Egypt had already encoded its own sacred geometry. The Eye of Horus, long read as pure myth, look closer at its mathematical blueprint. Some researchers have overlaid the Wadjet eye onto a cross-section of the human brainstem, a striking visual parallel, one worth seeing for yourself. In this reading, the eyebrow traces the corpus callosum. The teardrop curve echoes the brainstem's descending path. And the pupil, in this same reading, placed at the exact coordinate of the pineal gland. 6 mathematical fractions form the complete eye, a real and documented Egyptian numerical system. Tradition assigns each fraction to one of the senses: touch, taste, hearing, sight, smell, and thought. The 6th fraction, tradition says, stands for the mind itself. Added together, the fractions equal 63 64ths. 1 64th remains missing, said to be restored by magic, or left as a mark of imperfection. The search for the body's hidden center led ancient physicians into dark, forbidden territories. Herophilus of Chalcedon, the father of anatomy, made a startling declaration in the early 3rd century BC. He identified the brain's ventricles, its fluid-filled chambers, as the true seat of human intelligence and soul. Not far from that same fluid network, another structure waited, small, pine cone-shaped, easy to miss, the pineal gland. Fast forward 2 millennia. Modern biophysics uncovers something unexpected inside the organ's cellular matrix. Microscopic calcite microcrystals have been found within pineal tissue. Tiny geometric formations, confirmed by electron microscopy in the early 2000s. Their structure suggests piezoelectric potential. Mechanical pressure, in theory, could produce a small electrical charge. Whether this circuit is actually active in a living brain remains an open question, one science hasn't yet answered. But imagine for a moment if these microcrystals did respond to pressure in total darkness, an internal signal, entirely independent of the physical eyes in your sockets. The 17th century philosopher René Descartes saw something else in this small singular organ. He declared the pineal gland the principal seat of the soul, the bridge across the dualistic void between mind and matter. Descartes argued that while the brain is divided into 2 hemispheres, this organ remains singular. A unified receiver, he reasoned, one point of convergence for all sensory streams. Long before Descartes, Eastern traditions had already placed deep meaning in this same center of the head, the Ajna chakra, the 6th energy center in the Tantric tradition, represented by a 2-petaled lotus. 2 petals in this tradition representing the channels of breath and thought, Ida and Pingala, converging into oneness. When these dual polarities harmonize, tradition holds, the 3rd eye opens. Perception transcends physical boundaries. Modern neuroscience has found something curious happening in this same region during altered states. The pineal gland is capable of producing DMT, a rare, powerful tryptamine, alongside its more familiar hormone, melatonin. A chemical key, some say, to hyperdimensional vision, the biological Stargate within. Beyond the physical organ lies a wider architecture of symbols, a bridge forged from geometry, myth, and light. Look at the ancient Sumerian cylinder seals. Notice the pine cone held at the crown of the tree of life. A similar pine cone crowns the staff of Osiris in Egypt. A similar pine cone tops the Vatican's own bronze Pina sculpture. Coincidence? Independent cultures reaching for the same symbol of growth and vitality? Or something more? History leaves the question open. The pine cone's spiral scales follow the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, quite literally growing on a tree. As night falls, the pineal gland responds to darkness, winding down serotonin to synthesize melatonin instead. In deep isolation from exterior light, the body's inner clock resets itself. Some traditions called this awakening the inner flame. Ancient initiates reportedly sat in windowless granite tombs for days, sensory deprivation, seeking inner transformation. Within that darkness, some believe, the mind's usual barriers loosen. What the ancients called opening the eye may be, in modern terms, this same neurochemical shift. Light without eyes, sight without sun, the mind turned toward its own source. This is why tradition holds the eye of Horus was divided into 6 parts, 5 physical senses and 1 final, symbolic 6th. The missing 1/64th was never truly lost. In one reading, it stands for the observer itself, the consciousness taking in this very story. When you hold physical structure and ancient symbol side by side, a door opens onto a much older way of seeing the mind. You carry a version of this blueprint inside your own skull, studied in stone, argued over for centuries, still not fully understood. The third eye was never only a myth, it's a real gland wrapped in centuries of meaning. History leaves the clues in plain sight. It's up to us to sort the evidence from the legend. The research continues beneath the surface. Don't let this history slip back into the dark sands of time. Leave your mark in the archive below before it closes. What ancient symbol should we decode next? The owl watches from the darkness until the next timeline converges.